Hi everyone, this is John Kraft, and I'm very happy to be here with Cara Brown. Hello Cara, how are you?
Hi John, I'm great. Thanks.
Fantastic. Now we're here and I'm learning a little bit more about Cara's work and getting a sense of what got her involved in art in the first place, and learning a little bit more about her process. So Cara, just to start things off, and this is kind of a very normal question that I love to ask of many artists, but what first got you involved in creating art?
I started in 1992. It was a Saturday in June, and my mom and I took a class in painting flowers in watercolor at Drake High School, my alma mater, in San Anselmo. So it's been 25 years coming up that I've been making art. But it was very slow going for many years, like almost 10. And around 2000, I found myself not doing a very long commute and having all this extra time on my hands, and I really started plunging in and pursued my hobby. And then 5 years later was when I first did Marin Open Studios and showed my art for the first time, and that's been now 10 years. So it was sort of a slow ramp up, and now I can't imagine not painting. So I'm all self-taught. I've taken a few workshops, one community college class on color. It's only credit I have for taking any art classes. I'm actually a computer science trained brain.
Oh wow.
So yes, and so all I know is watercolor. I've tried a little bit of acrylic, and it just sits there. Right. I like the flow.
Well, you found what you love, right? And it definitely comes across in your work, and we're very fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of Cara's work today. And it leads me to my next question, which is, can you describe a little bit about your process and how you approach your work? Because it's so, and I've heard you use this word intimate, it's so intimate, beautiful, and it's just wonderful work. So I'd love to learn more about the process and how you approach it.
So it starts with being out in the world. So my experience is literally things tell me to paint them. So a flower or a piece of fruit or something, even walking through a fancy food shop in Paris was my first sweets painting. I looked at these wildly colored eclairs and they said, paint me. So
and then eat them.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Very good.
So it starts with the photography, and then I learned from Joseph Raphael, who's a master watercolorist who used to live in Marin, now lives in the south of France. He's a big following amongst we flower painters, and he used projection to do the drawing. So I figure if it's good enough for him, and he's in Manhattan Galleries, it's good enough for us. So and it also helps the fact that I have a very fiercely trained left brain, and my right spatial brain needs all the help it can get. So if I don't have a strong drawing, which would take me half my life to do if I had to do it without the projector, I would get half as much art painted. And what I want to do is play with the color. I don't want to spend all that time drawing.
Fantastic.
So, because otherwise my left brain would get in there and it would make really dorky art.
Very good. Now, again, we're surrounded by art, and I want to share some of Cara's work with you here during this video. So, and I'm going to be pointing across the room. Could you speak a little bit specifically about one of your most recent pieces and give us the title and what it's all about?
This one is called Eden, and I took several photographs that were actually collaged together using Photoshop. So I do use my computer brain to do that kind of work. It was about a year ago down at Filoli in Woodside, and I love bees. I think they're something that, I don't know, I'm not at all frightened of them. I love bees. So this one I drew and started painting. I always work on the background first. We call them in my world a fuzzy background, the out of focus background. And this one was really detailed. And it took a long time to find my way through all of those spaces behind those branches of flowers. And I worked on it through the summer, and mid-summer, the time had passed for it. So I set it aside because I wanted to paint rich color. So I picked it up again about 3 weeks ago, and it was something about the time of the year being right. It just came right through.
And then I have to ask you, because I know one of the first pieces I saw of yours, and I just found it so striking and almost iconic, is the piece that we're in front of right now. So could you tell me the story about that piece?
So this piece is called Eternal, and that's me. That silhouette is me. And it is a combination of two photographs that were taken in 1998 on a trip to Paris with a girlfriend. We were two single women. And this is inside the Musée d'Orsay in Paris. And in fact, you cannot take this photograph anymore because this catwalk has been remodeled out. So this is a catwalk that was some distance away from the clock. So this is me in front of the clock, and I had the image because of all the light coming through the windows of the clock. It was almost black and white photograph, and I thought I want to do something with this. But I didn't want to put the city of Paris outside.
Right.
I wanted to do something that was sort of unexpected. So these roses were growing in a rose allée in the Jardin des Plantes. And I have painted them before. This is the only thing I've ever painted twice, was these roses. So I thought I want to take Paris Roses, which is the name I gave to that painting, and put it behind that clock.
Well, it's fantastic. And as far as the rest of your work, it's beautiful to look at. It's wonderful, what I love about it is there's with art, I like there's the conceptual aspect of it and what's the idea behind it, and then there's the execution, and it's wonderful to see someone who's got such a grasp on both of those elements, and it's beautiful to see.
Thank you.
Now, I wanted to ask you, we have Marin Open Studios coming up. Can you share a little bit of information about where you're going to be?
I will be showing here at 537 Magnolia, which are the offices of Niz Realty. Niz is my mom, and she lets me use the office for all kinds of my art endeavors. So it's in between the Lark Theater and the Left Bank Restaurant right in downtown Larkspur. I'll be open both weekends, 11 to 6, and I will have all of my art and lots of reproductions, beautiful Giclée prints, and I'll be here and I'll be painting, and I'd love to have you come see.
That's fantastic. Well, I definitely invite everyone to come and look at Cara's work. It's absolutely extraordinary. And thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.